Subtracting algebraic fractions is just the same as subtracting numerical fractions, which is just the same as adding numerical fractions. The rules are all the same, you've just got a minus sign instead of a plus sign. So to do something like this, 3x over 5 minus 2, the same way as we did when we had a y on its own earlier to add up a fraction. I'm going to treat this 2 as 2 over 1. So I'm going to start by thinking of this as 3x over 5 minus 2 over 1. And then I'm just going to use the same process as before. My common denominator on the bottom is 5 times 1. On the top, I've got 3x times 1, top left times bottom right, take away 2 times 5, top right times bottom left, so 2 times 5. And I simplify that out to being 3x minus 10 over 5. Okay, it's a simple subtraction of an algebraic fraction. We could do something that looks slightly more complicated, but the process is just the same. Doesn't matter what you've got, y over y minus 1 minus 2 minus y over 5. Y over y minus 1 minus 2 minus y over 5. Looks kind of scary. Same process. Across the bottom, I'm going to do this one times this one. So I'm going to have y minus 1 times 5 on the bottom. On the top, I'm going to have 5 times y, or y times 5. And then I'm going to have take away 2 minus y into y minus 1. So it looks slightly scary, but the process of bottom times bottom and then this times this and this times this, it's just the same, no matter how scary the fraction looks. So let's try and tidy that up a little bit. Y times 5 I'm going to write as 5y. Because I've got lots of minus signs going on, I'm going to be really careful. I've got this minus sign, and then I'm just going to put a big bracket while I do this multiplying out. And I'm going to handle this multiplying out as I would with any two brackets. I've got to do everything in this bracket by everything in this bracket. So I'm going to do 2 times y, 2 times minus 1, minus y times y, and minus y times minus 1. I'll say that again. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Minus y times y is minus y squared. And minus y times minus y, minus y times minus 1 is plus y. I'm going to put all of that over, I'll probably write this as 5 into y minus 1. Then my only other job is to simplify this. I think for the sake of keeping all this on the video screen, I'll do it above. If you were doing it, if you're copying this out or you're working it out, keep going down, okay? But for the sake of fitting it on the screen, I'm still going to have 5y, and then I'm going to take this minus sign into my bracket. So I've got minus 2y, minus 2 is plus 2, minus y squared is plus y squared, and minus plus y is minus y. I'm going to put all of that over this 5 into y minus 1. I'm nearly finished. I'm going to do one more, and I'll take this out now so that I can work from that. So once more again, minus times 2y is minus 2y. Minus times minus 2 is plus 2. Minus times minus y squared is plus y squared. And minus times plus y is minus y. Okay, so that's where that's come from. And now I'll just simplify the top to get all of the same pieces together. So I've got a y squared, so I'm going to start with that. It's a plus y squared, so that's good. I've got 5y minus 2y minus another y. So 5 minus 2 minus 1, I think, is plus 2y. And then I've got plus 2 on the top here. And then I've still got to keep this over my 5y minus 1, or maybe for the sake of this one, I'll just multiply the bracket out. So I've got 5y minus 5. Two things to say there. The first thing to say is the subtraction of the fractions bit was exactly the same as any other subtraction of fractions you do, whether it's 5/8 minus 2/3, or whether it's got x's in or y's in, doesn't matter. The process is the same. Okay, the picture looks the same. You do the two bottoms, multiply together and put those on the bottom, and then you do top times bottom and top times bottom. It's always the same. What we then had to do was some fiddling about algebraic manipulation to get the thing to look like this. If it was the second bit you've got trouble with, then you need to go back and think some more about algebraic manipulation and do some practice on that. If it was the first bit you've got trouble with, you need to go back and practice subtracting your fractions. So, a little video with one easy and one more complicated subtraction of algebraic fractions.